Welcome to Three Season a Pod, episode 27. We're back. We're finally back. It's been a long fucking summer.
Sir.
Been a long summer, long preseason. But we're here. All three of us. Yeah, Nathan wasn't here the last two episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just gonna jump right into it. The Celtics. Let's get our reactions. I'll start. Like we all know, right? Big acquisitions. We got KP. We got Drew. That was fucking crazy.
Yep.
That was a crazy day in the group chat. um,
It was.
but we also lost, Rob and Marcus. That still sucks. But you know what, man, dude, I'm glad we waited a little bit into preseason, or to the end of preseason, to do this episode because the 15, 20 minutes that these dudes have all four of them played together, yo, this shit got me hype as fuck. I can't.
Yeah, no, it's fire.
I can't remember the last time I was hyped like this. Like 2017 was pretty hyped like this, but I actually compare it more to, and I think we were talking about this. I compare this more to '08 because there's just that buzz. You know what I mean? Like I feel like everybody was excited when we signed Hayward and traded for Kyrie,
Yeah.
but like it still felt a little different. There was hella hype, but it wasn't the same as '08, at least for me. Like living through it and hearing about the KG trades, hearing about the Ray Allen trades, and then this has kind of come together, and then watching it on the court in preseason, it almost looks like they've played together.
Yeah.
Before,
I mean,
you know what
I know obviously like Brad has been doing pieces from the Team USA team and all that stuff.
Actually, that's
because they all technically played with each other.
yeah.
But yeah, no, I kind of get what you're saying. I wasn't really actively watching in '08 and stuff like that. And even 17 was cool. It was really hype, but it was more of like we got to just see because at that time, even we didn't know if like a Kyrie was going to be able to be the number one on a team and stuff like that. So it was like promising and it was dope, but we also didn't even know about like the rise of like how fast JT would like come onto the scene and stuff like that. So I think this team is the most like assured team that we have had or felt like. I mean, I was going to talk about close to the feeling after the last finals we were in, obviously.
Yeah, like last year.
Yeah, because the offseason was also very like, okay, like we run it back, like this is it.
Yep.
But that momentum obviously died very fast because of shit that happened in that offseason.
Fucking bro. Gonna keep it in his fucking pants, man.
So it's like that is the only, or that's like the closest thing I could have thought of from when I've been like actively watching, because obviously we were all extremely hyped after they had just made a finals run. But yeah, as like a core of a team and like off-season moves and stuff like that, this is like the most all in that we've been. Before that, it was kind of just like, oh, we're building. Yep. They're gonna hit that eventually. But yeah, this is the first time that I've witnessed that, like, yo, we're going for everything, and I respect that shit hella hard from Brad, man. He's like, yo,
my goat.
We needed to switch up, and we needed to like this is the timeline, which I appreciate a lot. I don't care for the conversations of like, oh, we got JT and JB entering their primes right now. We got another like 7 years with them and shit. It's like that's never guaranteed. So for Brad to jump the gun and go for these guys, elite work right there, man.
Actually, though.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Like, that's the same shit for me. Like, obviously, yeah, I was gonna touch it, but like the finals run, like I obviously seen like the potential we had, and obviously just coming too much short and shit. But like, dude, knowing that I wanted Marcus obviously to be part of that core.
Yeah,
having a player like him, bro, obviously be my favorite player. Shit, that shit hurt my fucking heart. Like, I mean, that's why it's a business. At the end of the day, like Brad obviously knew what he had to do, and knowing that he had to stick by JT and JB, and obviously had to sacrifice Marcus, but he did it for the better of the team. And that's just going to bring Ben 18 Boston, man. Fuck it, Marcus will come back when we don't go for that.
Absolutely.
He can play that Iggy role, you know what I'm saying? Leave for a little bit, come back, win another chip.
Yeah. I mean, strictly basketball, it's made a lot of sense. And like you guys were saying for the preseason, they've just looked amazing together. And it's such a seamless fit, in my opinion.
It really is.
especially because of like their mentals right now.
Mm.
I think sure KP may have not like thrived in other or with other superstars in a way. But I mean, we've seen him with Luca, who is more ball dominant than Tatum.
Mhm.
So them being able to play around each other or like have a little combination has been fire. And honestly, like each of the stars, quote
Yeah.
unquote, that we have along with KP has been really nice.
Yep.
Like the Drew KP, pick and roll has been great. Even the JB like KP2 game has been like amazing.
Yep.
Just because KP can play make to a sufficient way to where JB could also play off ball when they do that like 2-man game,
Yep.
which obviously is like where he thrives compared to trying to play make for KP or something like that. But also it's like it's hella easy to play make for KP. Man's like 7'3" and he can shoot it from anywhere, so it doesn't really matter where you get him the ball.
No, for sure. And there's a conversation to be had of KP's success. I'm just saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But no, for real.
I believe it.
But for real though, like I love the KP edition because what did we talk about all last year? We talked about the Al replacement, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we have it.
We have it.
I think we found it, and I think Brad saw the vision, right? I think there were a few articles that came out, couple years ago, where Brad was scouting Wemby, and we had no shot at Wemby. Considering
Hell no, that man's a freak.
We're not getting a number one overall pick, but seeing that dude play, I feel like the vision with Brad is like, we need to counter that because that dude's gonna be a fucking problem. Maybe not.
Yeah,
maybe not this year, but like he's gonna be a problem.
Zingis is he's the OG, man.
He's the OG unicorn, dead ass. So I do think just to build up on a little bit of the 2-man game that we've seen so far, and what he opens up. He's kind of playing what the role Al sort of played when he first got here, where the offense was kind of like in a way centered around him. Obviously in our offense it's more centered around JT.
Yep.
But it's a Suedo offense similar to that, and it's beautiful to watch. I think losing Marcus sucks, but getting Drew makes it hurt a lot less.
Oh yeah.
Because I like obviously I love Derek, but
I love Derek.
Like he just it's just a different play style. I view Derek more as like a glue guy than as a guy that's gonna run your offense.
Them in tandem just makes a lot more sense.
Oh my god, bro!
Like I would have loved to see Derek White, full-time PG or something like that. Guard, but even then, like them in tandem is just amazing, especially defensively. I forget what after the last preseason game, like the defensive stats was like insane. They had like 10 boards and like 5 steals together, like 6 blocks together and shit like that. I was like, that's just what they're gonna have to do all the time now.
And the fact that like oh my god, no, I don't know. It's just hard to put in words because I'm so excited. But no, the Derek and Drew, I do think that should be the starting lineup.
Yeah,
I think Derek and Drew should start in the backcourt together. Move Porzingis to the 5 and have JT at the 4. JT seems to be a lot better at the 4 as of late, as opposed to being at the 3. It's because of how much he's bulked up in recent years. But man, also the three balls back, baby. I don't know.
Hey,
JT 3 balls back.
We hoping.
But like, the vision of this roster is insane, man. Because everybody's a 2-way player.
Yeah,
everybody's a 2-way player, and I signed a bunch of dogs for the bench. Like Pritchard's a fucking animal. Like what the fuck is this?
Pritchard has been great, and I'm glad that they kind of like figured out all this stuff.
Yeah, and
as much as the talks of him like wanting to get out and stuff like during playoff runs and stuff was like annoying. I mean I get it from his point of view, like being a short guard and close to. I mean at that point it was basically like a contract year. So he's fighting for his money, his like livelihood. So I get that he wanted to get out and get some opportunity, but it's cool that they were able to figure that out. That he is going to get that PT now, and he'll be able to. He signed that extension already and all that stuff. Hella cheap. That's a steal, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Yeah, he's gonna move mountains, man. On the bench, he's gonna go crazy. It's gonna be amazing.
Ragnar who?
Yeah, and then even just to touch on like some small preseason stuff, like JT obviously bulking up, good at the 4. He's been posting up way more, which I really love.
Yes.
Taking some middies. Like it doesn't seem like he's against taking the middies compared to like last year where it was like
It was more
I need to either
settling.
attack the rim or I need to take a three.
Yep.
And I think that's really cool because as he opens up that shot like diet, it's just gonna expand our game even more. Like
No, for sure.
at the end of the day, it's always gonna be if JT can, take us to the finals and like win us the chip. As much as like we bulk up all the other supplementary pieces and stuff, it will just end up being on JT. So we'll just have to see if he takes that step, and it's looking really good. Each year he always takes some kind of significant like lesson, I guess.
He improves somewhere.
Yeah, like he takes a lesson from whatever the hell he like messed up on. Yep. And even Joe has been really nice. I actually watched the podcast with JJ Redick.
Oh my god.
It was interesting to see like his perspective and stuff, but I also think he's like kind of chilled out more this year, which is like understandable because he has had a full off season. He's got a lot of the staff that he wanted to get and all that stuff. So it's been a lot more normal to prep and stuff rather than trying to like prove yourself 5 days before the season starts and staying in that mode throughout the whole season. So he seems like he's been really chill. Obviously like still coaching the same style, but he's been able to actually implement a lot of the stuff that, he didn't like from last year or didn't even like from the team prior years. So that has been really nice. Like, I think this is what we all were seeing last year where we were like, oh yeah, he will be a really good coach. But me personally, obviously I kept saying that I wasn't sure if he was going to be the coach for that year. Which is like obviously fine because we're on this new season. But it's looking like he's becoming the coach that we all envisioned that he would become because he's smart and he's a good coach.
Right. Yeah, so for me, okay, so this is a good segue into the expectations for this year because obviously I think we all agree it's championship or bust. Like we're all in. But I want to build on the Joe thing because I love this. And I watched the JJ Redick interview as well on the podcast, and there's just like a confidence in him as a Joe defender last year. It's very like yes, it's come full circle. But no, like dude, the vibes this entire offseason has been crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like inviting all the OG players, like in more, I guess, early on Celtics years. Like, I think something that has been kind of missing for the last few years, and I don't know if you agree with this, Nathan, but like when I first started watching the Celtics, the one thing they kind of really hyper focused on was like all of the old legends used to be around like all the time. You'd always see Bill Russell, you'd always see like JoJo White, Sam Jones, like all these OGs used to come by, and at every game you'd see them, and it would be highlighted. I don't know if I've really seen that with this core, right? Like not as frequently as it used to be, because that was like a focal point. And now I think Joe was like, yeah, I sent out an email to all these guys, and then Paul Pierce has really embraced that role. My goat, you know what I'm saying, Paul Pierce, and he's really embraced that role. I don't know if you saw the interview with Rondo, because Rondo showed up, which is crazy. Which is crazy. He hasn't come back in so long, right? So Rondo was there, and he's like, "Oh, Paul Pierce called me at like 3 in the fucking morning. It's like, yo, Joe sent this email. We gotta go." And then now you're seeing it, right? Paul Pierce has come. I forget his name. I'm sorry. I'm not like that old. Dude came. and then now Rondo. We need fucking KG to keep his word. Remember that whole interview in January last year? But yo, the vibes have been immaculate. And
no, I agree. It's been talked about a lot, the vibes.
Yeah.
And I mean, all the players have touched upon it too, where they just like, they feel like it's amazing right now.
Yeah.
And then they're really like, and they just like have been loving the practices and all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, this is hype.
Yo, for sure.
Like, I mean, how you brought back, bring that back to 08 vibes. I know, like, that's the shit where they started the Ubuntu shit.
Oh,
like,
yo. Yeah.
Yo, like, I think this year, probably, like, JT and JB probably going to have to, like, take that, lead by example, and start something similar to that.
Yep.
And just kind of like, come up with a mantra and just like stick by it all season.
Yep.
Fucking just, get banner 18, bro.
Yo, for sure. And I think, and the point of bringing all that up is I feel like it's building a culture. Because, like, I think that's been from this core. Like, what's their culture? You know what I mean? Like, I feel
Which is why I feel like it was low-key not necessary, but it was like a good-ish move as much as like moving Marcus Smart, because he was looked at as the heart and soul of the team and stuff. I think this has really empowered JT and JB to like create something of their own, along with Joe too. Now that it feels like he will be a long-term coach, or at least like he'll have an impact on the coaching staff. Even I don't know if like he would get fired completely and like off the staff, even if like there was a failed season, quote unquote.
Yeah.
But I think like them three in tandem, and just seeing like the new pieces come together has been like forcing them to kind of create a culture.
Yeah.
One that will be like theirs in a way.
Yeah, because they did fall, like really relied on Marcus a lot.
Yeah.
And I think
and that's something that Brad touched upon too.
Yeah.
Like in the interview, like he wanted them to step up, and like obviously we're making assumptions and stuff like that, but even on the court, it looks like JB and JT are getting on people's asses a bit more.
They're more vocal.
Yeah, the players' asses a little bit more.
Yeah,
more so JB from what I've seen. But I'm sure JT is up there too.
He does it in his own way. He's more like mellow than JB is. Yeah. No, but again, like I feel like the last few years when we've been in contention, right? Because obviously the whole Kyrie experiment really blew up in our faces. So there was like a sort of like a transition period there, like 2020, 2021, and then leading into 2022. But like some sort of identity we've had, right? Are we a defensive team? Are we an offensive team? Like, what do we hang our hats on? And I think we touched upon this a lot last year, where the late game execution really struggled because we didn't have that identity, right? Except for that like 4-month period in 2022, which is like the little golden period, right? Where everything was hung on that defense, switch everything, just fucking balls to the wall all 48 minutes. And I think we're going to start seeing a little bit more of that this year, whatever it may be. I don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah. I'm sure the scheme will be different because of, the personnel and stuff.
Yeah.
Playing more drop and all that. But I think we're going to rely a lot on that, like, perimeter defense, where it's just, like, being aggressive and, like, hounding in that kind of way. Yep. Similar to, like, what we saw the last preseason game, they were Derek White, Drew, and stuff like that were all very aggressive. But they were also, like, trying to play make a lot, like, going for steals and stuff like that. And technically, like, that was the most steals that we've gotten. It was a preseason game, but
it would have been a record. Yeah,
it would have been the record and stuff like that. But I think that's where like we'll see a majority of the aggression be, because it will end up being more of like a drop if KP and like Al, with getting older and stuff like that, won't just have the legs for it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay, so expectations, y'all. This is a 16 game team, man. Like they're built for 16. That's it. Like I don't care about the regular season that much, but as far as predictions go, all right, I gotta stand by this because I tweeted it, so I gotta put this record out there. I think we're gonna finish 60-22.
Okay.
With the best record in the league.
Okay.
And yeah, man, I think we might just roll into 60 wins just because of the weather with the rest days and all that shit. I think we roll into 60, bro.
I put 62. I'm not gonna lie.
62 or 60 as well, like
62, like the number 2.
Okay.
Because I just think that the way that we are going, it's very hard to game plan in like the regular season.
Yep.
Obviously, playoffs will be different, and like I was saying, JT will be the one that like takes us as far as like we can go. Obviously, we have a lot of pieces to help him out as well now.
Yep.
But in terms of regular season, where you're not like game planning against like your next opponent, you're kind of just going with it. I don't think there's many teams that will be able to handle the amount of like offense that we have. And like for the regular season as well, I think the defensive scheme will be good. Obviously, I think what we saw towards preseason, I don't know if that's going to sustain itself for the whole like regular season. I think there will be like defensive intensity for sure. But we'll see like that kind of energy the whole time, obviously during the playoffs. But like, typically a drop coverage or like not playing as, or giving up like threes in a similar way that like the Bucks may have done during the regular season was helpful. They just couldn't adjust during the playoffs. So I think, we'll be able to sustain that kind of defense as well. during the regular season. So I got 62. Usually I'm not the one that like looks high, but fuck it. we won like 57 last year, so I
We
was
did
like, yo, we could definitely win 5 more with the addition of Drew and Porzingis.
easily.
Easy. And I had at least 60. You know, I just stuck to 16-22 because if we go past expectations, it'll be better for us. But at least, but you know, my expectations is like after watching the preseason, seeing like the obviously our top six and our complimentary players and shit. Like
Mhm.
we have like a whole another level to get to. Like we just saw glimpses of it the preseason. We saw the full court press, seeing how
Mm.
ball walking we could be, and kind of forcing other teams to be uncomfortable and play type of basketball. Like the Hornets are pretty ass, right? Like
No,
we
they're very ass.
completely like just fucking shut them down, bro. And then
Yo.
like imagine that defensive intensity like throughout the regular season, and we have dogs off the bench that even if some players were to miss games, like
Yep.
they would still come in and just replicate that energy. And then
Yeah.
on offense, I feel like this is gonna be seamless. Like we're gonna just play faster. We're gonna have way more open shots. We're gonna let the three ball fly like we did
Mhm.
all year last year.
Yep.
And then like those games where we probably won't hit like a lot, like we'll struggle, but I think we're too like offensively gifted and like, a powerhouse of a team that not all the mediocre teams and worst teams in the league are going to be able to stop us.
I agree.
I
They just
agree.
don't have the personnel.
Yeah,
Yo.
exactly. So I mean, until we see like the Phoenix Suns and shit who could probably match us offensively, but I still don't think that those type of teams will have that gifted.
I think we're built to stop teams like that. To be honest,
All right, for
you
sure.
know what I mean?
Yeah, but yeah, they don't have no go-to defender to throw
Yeah.
at like JP or somebody. So
Mhm.
Yo, for sure.
Yeah, and I think like another addition to the regular season thing is just the fact that I feel like it is more sustainable in terms of like energy because we just have so many options. And yeah, there's a lot of just shot makers that could switch up the game. It's always felt for me like very heavily that JT needs to do a lot on the
Yep.
offense. JP as well. Like obviously he would, if he had a really good shooting night, then our life would be a lot easier. But other than that, like JT had to do a lot on the offensive end, and that may have taken, or that definitely did take away on the defensive end. But because he doesn't have to, he still is the best in a lot of the categories that we talk about in terms of like shot making, playmaking, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
But he doesn't feel like he needs to excel in every single one of those things every night to be a winning team.
Yeah.
So because of that, I think they can use more energy on the defense, and that's kind of what I was seeing during the preseason. Everyone was kind of just like in a flow. They were
Yep.
getting quick, easy buckets, and out of nowhere, like JT's got like 20 points in like the first half already, and he's still
Yeah.
playing like aggressive defense.
Yep.
And then like KP's dropping 20 as well and like blocks and shit. So it's like having that many weapons definitely helps with the idea of like not expending as much energy on the offensive end.
For sure.
So it's just way more collective.
For sure. And also, yo, I to touch on Nathan's point a little bit. Yo, full court press in preseason is insane. But I'm
It's
here
funny
for
as
it,
hell.
bro. But I'm
Funny
here
as hell.
for it.
Hey, that's what Joe's been talking about though. He talking about like these curveballs and shit.
Yo,
I'm like, hey, if
I'm
if
here
that's
for
one
it.
of our curveballs, I'm cool with that.
But like, and plus, like now we finally get more of, because I feel like we didn't get a lot of Marcus Derek last year, but we're gonna get a lot more Drew Derek this year. So
Yeah.
that's gonna be something nice to see. And then to touch on a little bit of the less workload on the Jays, I think that's probably the biggest impact that probably doesn't come up as much. Where I felt like what we talked about last year a lot was when Marcus was running the point, we were kind of at our best because we didn't make the Jays do like everything.
Yep.
And I feel like that went away a lot in the second half of the year, partially due to his injury in January, I think it was, and partially due to just the way things just unfolded, unfortunately.
Mhm.
And it almost seemed like JB was they were trying to run JB more on the ball like being the primary ball handler on pick and rolls and stuff like that. But so far in preseason, we got Drew doing essentially the Marcus role, if we're being honest. And then we got KP kind of being like that young Al role, and a combination of that is just going to be crazy to watch because like it's like you guys are saying that it doesn't matter if we like JT's notorious for having off shooting nights, right? Like I think that's a little overblown, but whatever. Like he does have off shooting nights, but that won't matter with the way our offense is now because we have so many different options, and I've never seen them so open, man. Like,
no, absolutely.
They've been open like every possession. It's crazy. KP.
Bro, when I see KP threes, I'm just like, yo, there's like he has so much space, and also no one can fucking contest it.
Yeah, we got 7-3 Klay Thompson, bro. Like what the fuck?
So wild. I'm like, yo, if that's the way he's gonna be ran, I guess. Obviously, like he has the variety to do other stuff like post ups and be in the paint and all that.
Yep.
But hey, he's super solid just being that 3-point threat. Like he's Brook on like another level.
Yo, for real.
It really is 7-3 Klay. It's wild.
How about to add to that too? But I think outside of that, like his shooting and like his post ups or whatever, but bro, he's been showing like a different kind of like motor, bro. It's like shots be going up and he's rebounding the ball or offensive rebounds. Dude, he got like 2, 3 and ones.
Yeah. It really seems like Joe, whatever like Joe has been wanting to implement has stuck with them. Like I don't know, but it's always been so funny that coaches or our coaches would say shit and they would try to highlight things. And I feel like this might be a universal thing for like other NBA teams as well. But like it just never really happens, or it happens for a little bit and then they just fall back into their other habits. That the one, stretch that we did see where they were like extremely locked in for that 4-month period and got all the way to the finals was like amazing on its own. But obviously we had seen where they had just like fluctuated a lot beforehand. So it is cool to see that whatever Joe is trying to implement has been like kind of recognized from the team and they actually like want to do it. Because I know he said something about like offensive rebounding, and like I'm watching the most recent game. I'm like, yeah, these guys are all crashing, and you see Porzingis get like 2, 3 and ones just off offensive rebounding and stuff like that.
Yep.
And I'm like, it's cool to see.
It is cool, and man, I'm so ready for the season, man. Like, when is this gonna be? It's been too long without NBA. Like, look. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I know you guys really primarily focus on basketball, but like, as a fan of like baseball and football too, not so much baseball, but more so football. Like, those seasons don't hit the same, bro. I don't care what anybody say. I know it's a preference shit, but the NBA is just different, bro. Like, I'm sorry.
I mean, I be hearing about NFL stuff anyways. Like I see it on my feed and all that, but I feel that. I mean, obviously I'm more of a basketball fan anyways, but
like I love the
I feel like the NFL this season has been very interesting. Very odd.
It also sucks because the Patriots suck. But anyway, but I think we can all agree this is why we're doing a fucking Celtics pod. Like basketball, first love. Like that's the shit, bro. Like I didn't cry for any of the New England Super Bowls. I didn't cry for any of the Red Sox World Series, and I don't care about hockey. But I don't watch soccer. But like MLS, that is. And then but yo, when that '08 ring hit, there were tears, bro. There were real tears. And I think
feel that, man.
And I think if JT and JB and them get over the hump, there'll be real fucking tears, bro. We'd be in that arena crying. Hopefully in the arena,
I'll be hella excited, man.
But I'm ready, man. It just feels different, and I think health permitting. So
but makes sense. So expectations definitely
high.
Championship or bust, man. We all got 60 plus at least.
Easy.
So that's what we're thinking for them.
Yeah. But anyway, on to the competition, right? Around the league. I think something I wanted to talk about were notable moves that nobody really talked about. Because like everybody knows about the splashes, right? Dame in Milwaukee, KP and Drew to Boston, Brad Beal to form the Big Three in Phoenix. By the way, the GM cooking all offseason. Kind of crazy.
Definitely.
Those are the splashy moves. But I wanted to talk about some moves that maybe went under the radar. And for me, I'm going to go first because I know Nathan's going to say the same thing. I do think Marcus in Memphis is going to make a difference. I do think you know what's funny, right? We talked about like the culture shift in Boston and kind of putting more responsibility with JT and JB, and I fully agree with that. I think JB and JT needed to grow in that aspect and on Marcus so much, which is not like a bad thing, but it's also a bad thing in the sense that it kind of stunted their growth as leaders. I think that ended up being what Memphis was missing. Like there's really like Steven Adams is great, but do you really look at Steven Adams as like a leader?
Nah, he's a chill
You
dude.
know what I mean?
Chill dude.
He's just more like a chill dude. I think that's what they're missing. And I think if they can hold like ground and hover around 500 while Ja's out for 25 games,
Yep.
I think
They could do well.
I think Marcus and JJJ, two defensive player of the year caliber players. Like I think that's really sneakily a good team.
Yeah, I'm interested in what they would do, I guess. Because I still think that their main issue is like the wing. Like they need like a legitimate wing to use. Or I think they would be a championship caliber team if they either had a very high level starting wing or
Right.
a star wing.
Agreed.
Then they would be thrusted into that contender conversation
Yeah.
routinely. So having Marcus Smart as that like big addition or like rotation of guards, it definitely will help in a leadership sense. But I do question if that'll like be enough, I guess,
Right.
to get them to that
I don't
point.
think they're like bona fide contenders, but I do think
Yeah.
they're that sneaky team that will. I think they're a scary team to play if you're in the West. Personally,
Yeah, I agree. They're always going to be like really good anyways, and they got like super good foundation of role players and star to superstar players.
Yeah, that was my first one, obviously. I think like you said, Memphis was clearly like they have the potential, like, but they just didn't have the quality leadership. And to bring in Marcus Smart and Derrick Rose, to kind of two experienced players. Obviously, Marcus Smart went to the finals, and Derrick Rose just overall like the adversity he went through in his career and stuff like that. Bringing those two in to kind of help lead and put John right back into like a right mindset, headspace that he needs to be in to start the season and stuff. I mean, I'm not trying to say like I said, they're not going to be like a real contender probably, but they're going to be a scary team to play. But I think just that already kind of having the stepping stone to set him up for success is going to be key. And yeah, I do agree too with the wing situation. I think we had a talk about last year too. Like
for sure, like we wanted them to get that OG Mikhail type.
Yeah,
that would have been fire for them.
That would have been like, and obviously they got rid of Dylan Brooks, so that's already
a plus right there. Yeah,
damn, that's crazy.
So having that, I think they're gonna be a really good team. So Marcus Smart, for the first 25, I feel like he's gonna take it as a opportunity to gel, fit in, and kind of set the pace and how the season will go. And he's more than capable. Like I said, I've always stuck by that, even when he's been on the Celtics, when everybody's saying he couldn't be a true point guard. And time in and time out, bro, he showed otherwise. And he just played the other day for the first time, and you felt his presence. Like off rip. Like, of course, his stats aren't going to jump out at you because he does more of the, the non-statistical things. But outside of that, bro, I think it's a overall like would get an A+ for me, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think
if it wasn't for the Celtics, Memphis would be the second best team. That is exactly the situation you got put in. So I couldn't be more.
For sure.
I think him and 3J will be fire, especially because it'll be reminiscent of like him and Rob for sure. But like Rob obviously has way more of an injury thing, so he's not in there as often. 3J obviously has his own injury stuff, but he has been relatively more healthy. So I think them in tandem and him kind of orchestrating. I think Marcus Smart is best at that, being the
leader. Yeah.
The leader and like anchor of the defensive unit rather than like playmate or like defensive playmaking like a Drew Holiday.
Yeah.
So I think having command of the defense and 3J like behind him will be really, really underrated.
Yep.
I actually had for my pick though, I had CP3.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're gonna cook, bro.
Really?
Because the reason why I say that is because everyone was memeing it, and even I was clowning it.
I'm
just like,
clowning it all day, bro.
yeah, like CP3 on the Warriors is mad funny, but I think he's just gonna be amazing, dude. Like
Yeah.
he's such a high IQ player
Mhm.
in a high IQ system. I just don't think that there's any way that it doesn't make sense or it
Yeah.
doesn't make them better. I don't think like it's basically what you're saying with the Grizzlies. That's why I wanted to point it out.
Mhm.
It's definitely not a move that'll be like, oh my god, they're like championship contenders or anything
One of
like
the
that.
best team in the league, yeah.
Yeah, but they're definitely it's an upgrade in my opinion compared to like yes, Jordan Poole is a more promising player and may have like a higher ceiling at this moment because of like age difference and stuff like that. But CP3 is such a better fit, and it's just reminiscent of like their 22 run where it was like they got a lot of pieces that just made sense. Like they had the Kelly Oubre's and the D'Los and stuff like that, and those were all players that had higher ceilings than like the Otto Porters of the world or Gary Paytons, but all of them just were higher IQ players and understood the system. But you take that and CP3, who is fucking the Hall of Famer, it'll just catapult their offense even more. And I think that is understated because everyone's memeing it.
I will say this about the CP3 era Warriors, right? Funny.
No, it's hilarious.
But I will say this. I agree. I do think they're gonna be a good team. It's just a matter of like he's just old. But I do think the fit is really interesting and actually good, especially after seeing it a little bit in action in the preseason, even though it's just preseason. But like it's just one of those things where him and Draymond are going to be the most annoying fucking duo to play against.
Oh my god,
absolutely. Because we all know CP3 is just like notorious for taking advantage of every little rule. And then you fucking combine that. You combine that with Draymond like pushing the edge of how far away he can get with shit, right? We witnessed that firsthand, right? Fuck that guy. But like both of those two together, and then obviously you have like Clay and Steph, Steph on a whole other level, and then just I know we joke around about Steve Kerr just inheriting what Mark Jackson built, but you got to give him credit. But like when you have that foundation and core around you, it's just it's just hard not to win at that point. But yeah, they're gonna be fucking annoying, bro.
No, they're gonna be so annoying, and I get all the memes and stuff. It's hilarious, even on memeing it. But I wouldn't be surprised if they like made a lot of noise.
Yeah,
like if they out of their asses like Western Conference Finals, I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be shocked
because because it's just like it just makes so much sense. I'm not saying I'm not fucking picking them for the Western Conference Finals, but them having CP3 makes a lot of sense if they made the Western Conference Finals or even farther than that.
Listen, man, Steph Curry sold his soul. So I wouldn't be shocked at all.
And yeah, Steph Curry on an off-ball roll even more is about to be crazy, bro. Even more dangerous.
Yeah, for sure. But
I did have the CP3 trade too. But I mean, you guys pretty much touched on it.
Yes, sir.
Too, but like, just overall, dude, he's a Hall of Fame player, but the age is just the difference.
Health, honestly.
Yeah, that. But I mean, just the freaky. I don't know if you watched them play the Kings the other day, but like you said, how he's just annoying overall as a player. He just freaky. The Aaron Fox was just hounding him, and then he just caused a foul.
Yeah.
That's just gonna be annoying. But this is CP3. That's just him nitpicking the IQ and taking advantage of stuff like that. But that's definitely gonna help the Warriors because you replace him with Jordan. You replace Jordan Poole with him. That's obviously an upgrade in a sense.
But for the right now,
more of the potential, but. I mean, I think the Warriors wouldn't have Bob Myers, right? Their owner.
Bob Myers, he stepped down.
He stepped down this year, or like
it was this year. It was this year. Yeah.
He might then leave as the GM now. But I feel like he wouldn't have made that move if he didn't believe in what CP3 brought to the team.
Right.
Yeah.
The potential that he would, bring and help with Steph Curry and Draymond and Clay and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean. Another sneaky addition, though, that I wanted to talk about was Westbrook.
Who?
Westbrook staying on the Lakers. I mean, not Lakers, the Clippers.
The Clippers. Yep,
Mm.
yep.
That deal that he signed, bro.
Mhm.
I don't know. A lot of people. I've been seeing a lot of like slander. A lot of people just kind of putting Westbrook down and shit. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
Westbrook is ultimate team player. Like, I mean, yeah, he probably definitely did drop as a player, but I think overall you can't put like maybe 60 players that are better than Westbrook right now in the league.
No.
And the fact that he's pretty high in like the list of the top 100 players is kind of crazy.
Mm.
Hmm.
I just think that I don't know the fact that it's kind of just mind-boggling to me, bro. I just wanted to see like what you guys thought about
I
that
think
shit.
okay, so the top 100 list is stupid because Derek White's not even in the top 100. First of all,
Yeah, that's
Yeah. True. True.
but I will say this about Russ and about the Russ situation with the Lakers. I just think they didn't use him right. Like
mm-hmm.
I don't think I even liked the fit when the trade initially happened
Mm-hmm.
because like it just didn't make any sense. Why would you trade Kuz for Russ? Like Russ flourishes in a ball dominant role where he's kind of like orchestrating the offense. That doesn't happen on a LeBron James team
Yeah.
as well with an Anthony Davis in tandem. So I do think he's a good fit on the Clippers, and if they're healthy, this leads into like one of the later segments. I do think the Clippers are really good if healthy, but it's always
Yeah.
the.
Yeah.
I don't think Russ would be a problem. I think the big thing for the Clippers is just if PG and Kawhi can stay healthy.
Yep.
Yep. I think Russ is great. Super polarizing. I'm more of a fan of him than thinking like he's trash.
Agreed.
Just because there's a lot of nuance that people don't understand, and like, I would just say like Twitter discussions
It's
and
just the
stuff.
memes. Yeah.
People are running agendas and stuff like that.
Yep.
But people who are like actually know ball or like actually want to talk ball understand that there's nuance to what was going on with Westbrook and stuff like that, and it just wasn't a good fit on the Lakers.
Yep.
You have two people who have the same skill set essentially,
Yep.
and one is obviously better than the other because you're not going to give
Yeah.
Westbrook more of the keys compared to LeBron. Like LeBron's LeBron.
Right.
So him being on that squad just didn't really make sense because it was just redundant. So I think him going to the Clippers now, and late last season as well, second half of the last season too.
Yep.
You could just see that that's kind of what they were missing. Like PG and Kawhi aren't people who are gonna drive to the rim every single time. Like they're powerful and they're like crafty and can get to the spots downhill the way they want to.
Yep.
But they're definitely more perimeter players compared to someone who will just attack the rim every single time. And Westbrook is still great at doing that, even though it didn't look like he was during the Lakers era.
Yeah.
So I don't see like he's a perfect fit for them, and the fact that he stayed was great. I think it's all health dependent.
Listen.
Like Clippers are going to be
And one
better than what they were.
And one
before.
thing about one more thing about the Russ Lakers thing is like, dude, Russell Westbrook is not a catch and shoot player. So
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
when you have him in that role, he's gonna look like he's trash. It's the
Exactly.
same, it's like when Cape like similar to KP in the playoffs where he had that really bad playoff run that one year in Dallas. Like, dude,
Yeah,
you had him just
'Cause he was just in
posted
the
up in the
perimeter.
corner. Like,
Yeah.
that's not his that's not his strength. So a lot of it is just scapegoating, in my opinion. So the narrative is
For
really
sure.
dumb. And of course, dude, it's fucking Twitter. So like, these dudes will just say anything that comes to mind. So
No, yeah, for sure. It's
I
just
don't
a lot
think
of
stock
agenda
into
running,
it.
and
yeah,
a lot of people on the media don't even like.
yeah,
They just are very biased on their own right. It's not. It wouldn't be like agenda pushing like a Twitter thing, but they're just biased in their own way. Like
my
they
God,
either
yeah.
really like a player or they don't like a player, and they'll trash on them or they'll
Yep.
like prop them up.
And Russ is not really known for being a media darling. So like,
Yeah.
that plays into it too, I feel.
And I mean, there's a lot to even just say about being like fucking happy. Like on the Lakers, he looked miserable, and
Yeah.
like it was actually kind of sad to watch him on the Lakers.
Yep.
Because it felt like anytime he messed up, he would just get like heavily scrutinized. And
Yep.
as much as you can say like, oh, I don't care about the noise and stuff like that, it clearly like got to him. Like he looks extremely happy being on the Clippers
100%.
and being able to play the way that he wants to play. So
Yep.
that is like a super underrated factor as well.
For sure. So okay, I'm gonna throw one more I'm gonna throw one more addition. And because it sort of plays into what I'm gonna say later. The Pacers. I like the Pacers a lot this year.
Yeah, I like the Pacers.
I'm buying stock in Hallie. I do think the Bruce Brown edition is gonna be really underrated throughout the year. I love Bruce Brown as a player. Dorchester zone. I also think Benny kind of moving into year 2, a little bit more comfortable with the league now, right? Miles
Yep.
Turner is looking a little bit more healthy than usual. I think, that team, the way there's no expectations. And with Hallie, I think Hallie's gonna take another step because, dude, I'm big on Hallie. I don't know about you guys,
No, I love Hallie, but I
that
don't know
team-
where I think his ceiling goes.
I don't know where
Is-
his
is
ceiling
ba-
goes either. I don't
basically
want
it.
to get that far, but
Yeah,
I do
but
think
I really like his game.
I do think
He's
the
dope.
Pacers with Hallie running the show is gonna be really fun, and I
Mhm.
think they're gonna surprise people this year.
I
don't
think.
know how y'all feel.
I mean, I don't know. We can get into we'll get into
I don't think
seedings and stuff a little bit
I
later.
don't think they're contenders in that.
No,
But, like,
absolutely not. If you said that, I'd be
no,
pushing
they're
you.
not contenders, but I think they're cool.
we will definitely get into seeding and stuff. So I'm sure
Yeah.
the Pacers will come up in that conversation.
Yep.
I do think they're in the play-in, like they're a play-in team.
Mm.
So you may think that they're a playoff team.
Mm.
So that's where we'll differ.
Yeah.
But I have other teams, so we'll obviously discuss that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I really like the Pacers additions too.
I
Like
feel-
Obi Toppin too. Like they got
Obi
a
Toppin,
guy
yeah.
who they got a guy who will obviously play very well with Hallie because he's just so explosive.
Yep.
But just a guy who seemed like he could do something on the Knicks. But
It was
never
good when he played. I don't
yeah,
know
but
what
never
it
got
was.
that opportunity.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see how it translates to the Pacers because it feels or like when I did watch him, it seemed like he was able to do the things that you would want out of him.
Yep.
In terms of spacing the floor a little bit. Obviously, he's uber athletic. So he's got that vertical quality to him. He obviously or maybe the defense is a part of it because I'm not sure how well he is at guarding the power forwards and centers and
It's
stuff
really
like
hard
that.
to say because he didn't play enough.
That's what I'm saying. On the offensive end, he always seemed very promising.
Mhm.
And they even drafted him with the outlook of he's NBA ready,
Yeah.
but he just never got NBA minutes. So I was like, what the hell?
The tip special, yeah.
Yeah. So him being on the Pacers, I really like Jarris Walker too.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
he might even get that power forward spot compared to Obi Toppin. But that little competition there, they have a surplus amount of freaking centers that could figure it out. Like Miles Turner is good, but
Yep.
Jalen Smith exists and
Yep.
Isaiah Jackson. I think.
Mhm.
I think their wings, obviously outside of Bruce Brown, I'm interested to see Bruce Brown as well because they paid him obviously a bag to be a prominent role on the
Yeah.
team, but we've only ever seen him as a
good
really
guy.
good
Yeah.
connecting piece.
Yep.
On the Nets and then on the Nuggets. So to see him have a bit more of an increased role,
Yeah.
with his style of play, which is more of a connecting piece.
Mhm.
I'm interested to see how well he does. But I got a lot of stocks in Hallie too.
Yep.
I thought he was gonna win MIP last year.
I thought so too.
I was gunning for that.
I mean, Pacers. It's funny you brought this up too because the other day I was on Facebook, showing me Facebook. I think I like one of the Pacers page, and they made a post on their young talent and stuff. They're kind of trying to follow the Celtics blueprint.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, Hallie, Miles Turner,
Yep.
I think Obi, and probably Benny.
Probably Benny. Yeah.
Yeah, and then comparing it to JB, JT, KP, and Drew. I
Mm.
was like, I mean, you got a long way to go, but it's there. The potential will be there, but it's going to take a couple more years. But
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, I just don't know who that second guy is yet.
Honestly, I
for
don't think
them.
they have a second guy.
Which is why I have
Yeah.
another team that I feel like will be higher in the rankings for me.
I think I know who you're talking about already.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wanted to be bold with it. So but anyway, so that leads into the next let's do bold predictions. That's the surprise teams. So I'll go first because we were already talking about them. I got the Pacers.
Okay, I got
bro.
to.
I got the
Pacers?
Pacers as my surprise team. And my bold prediction which will probably be wrong, but it's bold for a reason, right?
Mm.
I got the Pacers as a top 4 seed. The 4th seed.
Damn, that's
specifically.
crazy.
I
That is
think
bold.
I think they have one of those random years. I don't
Mm.
think it'll be like a legit year, but it'll just be one of those years where they're just like, holy shit, what the fuck that happened? You know what I mean?
I could see it.
Like the Knicks.
I think
one
the
year.
top 3 is solidified.
The top 3 is solidified. Yeah. I don't think
Yeah.
that
So
goes
that
anywhere.
4th is kind of open.
I feel
But
like
low key,
4 through
I think
10.
that-
I feel like 4 through 10 could be anybody. I'm just
yeah.
I'm just rolling.
It could
the
be
dice.
anybody. It could be anyone.
I'm just rolling the dice on the Pacers.
Yeah. Shit. So surprise team. I guess I'll do one for each one, but for different reasons.
Okay.
So I have the Mavericks for the Western Conference.
As a surprise team?
Yeah, as in like they're gonna go very far.
Oh, okay.
So that was like because they did playoffs last year. I don't think people are very like high on them.
Mhm.
And even when we get into like contenders, I'm sure four-ish teams on the West that come up before the Mavericks.
Yeah, I have that too.
So that's why I say they're my surprise team because I just think that they will end up getting farther than people think. I have them very far. But that's my like bold prediction, I guess.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we'll get into that after. And then the other, I guess, the Eastern Conference team is the Magic.
I do it.
Yeah, I just don't see how they don't thrive at this point. They had a very, very strong second half
Mhm.
of the season in terms of like defensive identity and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
First half of the season, they didn't even have a point guard.
Paolo's a stud.
Yeah, for like half the season, Paolo is just going to continue doing his thing.
Yep.
He had an amazing rookie year.
Yep.
Franz is a perfect like number 2.
Yep.
Like I think that's like why I envision the Magic taking more of a leap compared to like the Pacers and stuff like that. Because I love Hallie, but I just don't know who that second guy consistently will be.
For sure.
And at that point, like you kind of have to have some consistency to get like in that playoff picture, like confidently. I guess that's why I say I have them in the play-in teams. They'll definitely have like Benny games or like maybe even an Obi game or something like that. But it's like I don't know who will consistently help out Hallie. But I could be totally wrong, and they do get that fourth seed, like you're saying. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, the Magic with Franz being the way he is and just continuing to get better, and then even Markelle Fultz, like I think he's starting to.
He's molding into a player.
He's getting better. He's like even when he got back from injury last year, he was looking very good.
Yep.
But it just seems like he's getting closer and closer and closer to like what he may have even looked like if he didn't go through all the things that he went through when he was on the Sixers. That's obviously not saying that he's going to be as reaching that ceiling that was projected when he was the number 1 pick, but he's like very close to like being borderline all-star type production or like quality of player.
Yeah.
And then from there, you just have like solid pieces on the front court as well. Like Wendell's cool. Mo can do his thing. Jonathan Isaac, if he can play, like he's cool. So I just think they have a lot of size and they have solidified players who they know they can lean on. Paolo is already on that. Like he looks like he can become a superstar. So
agreed.
I'm very high on them.
Yeah, I was high on them too, but I didn't want to make the sexy pick.
Yep.
For me,
I was like, there's no other team that I think. I mean, obviously there's the Thunder, but we can get into that when we talk seeding and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, my bold prediction is Minnesota. I like Minnesota to be like one of the top teams.
Mm.
I mean, if you're buying stock in Hallie, I'm buying stock in Anthony Edwards.
Yeah,
same.
I was thinking for Timberwolves too. It was the Wolves and the Mavericks for me about who was going to be that surprise team from the West.
Yo, for sure.
Not for sure, but I think I mean seeing Anthony Edwards, Team USA, and then obviously the things he was doing at the end of last season, come playoff time, and Team USA now, and going into this season, I think the expectations are there, and I think he's more than capable of.
Agreed.
Just finding another gear and another level. I think he's going to kind of unlock that for the team in general. Like, yeah, Cat was hurt for I think at least half the season last year.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to find, I think this is the second year Chris Finch is going to be the head coach for Minnesota. And I think they're definitely going to find a way to kind of implement and try to take advantage of that Rudy Gobert trade. Like,
agreed.
Yeah, the bigs probably didn't work last year, but they've done some experimenting in lineup enough, in my opinion, to kind of find the perfect mesh of players.
Yeah.
Of who will gel together and stuff like that.
I mean, they got players, man.
They do.
I just don't know how much faith I got in Cat.
That's true.
It's just the main thing. But outside of that, like everyone's very good. And I do think like they could figure it out still. Like as much as I'm not huge on Cat Rudy, I do think there's a world where they may be able to figure it out.
Yep.
And if they do, like they are immediately like a top tier team.
Yep.
Still not like on that contender level in my opinion, but definitely a top tier team to me.
It's funny because on paper, Cat and Rudy make sense. Shooting big.
I just think defensively, it's just Cat got no quickness, bro. On the defensive end, no lateral quickness.
He's a thick boy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like that just makes it really hard for them. But offensively, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And you also have like Naz Reid, who like
it.
can do a lot of what Cat is already doing. And I'm not like, in my opinion, I think they'll end up having to trade Cat for pieces and stuff like that. And I don't know if they end up still running the double big with like a Naz Reid or something like that. But I mean, they have Kyle Anderson, who like slotted in really well when Cat was out.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, just on paper, they have just so many pieces. Obviously,
and Jaden McDaniels, I think he's gonna step up.
You have Ant, you have JD, you have Kyle Anderson, who plays kind of like their Derek Wright role in a sense. Like Cat, if they can move him for some really good role pieces, like that team is, dude, on paper. Like I was big on them last year, right? Like just on paper, they're so good, but it's just not just having the talent isn't enough. You have to do some court. But I see it though. I see the vision, and I also have stock in Ant Edwards.
Of course, and is that guy.
So yeah, no, I see that for sure. The vision's there, and that leads us to contenders and pretenders. So
yes.
I think the top 5 contenders are pretty unanimous and locked.
Okay,
right?
I have 5.
So I'm gonna just say mine, and I'm assuming you guys have the same ones because I think this is just around the league universal. Celtics, Bucks, Nuggets, Lakers, Suns.
Yep.
Those are the 5, right? Like true contenders. Like I don't think there's any question those are the guys. But we can go dark horses then, because there's no really need to elaborate because we know the Celtics are winning the championship. Dark horses. So I can go first again.
Yep.
I got 3 dark horses, and I have an honorable mention dark horse. So
I technically got 5, but more like 4.
Yeah, I have essentially 4.
Yeah.
So I don't think you could ever count out Golden State.
Yep.
Right. I think you can never count out Miami, no matter what the fuck their seeding is. Apparently, Spo, Jimmy, Bam, scary as fuck. Right. My other dark horse was Memphis.
Yes, sir.
Dark horse, and then my honorable mention, believe it or not, Minnesota. So like that, like like I said, dark horse to me isn't contender. Dark horse to me is they can run the table basically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If
I got different teams.
If everything clicks,
I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. I got different teams.
Those are my dark horses. I know who one of your teams is, Kyle.
Oh yeah, of course, because I
you already alluded to it.
I alluded to it. But yeah, I guess dark horses. The Warriors obviously are there.
Yep.
I still have the Clippers there because they just
add that as my 5th team. I forgot.
That's why I was interested. I was like, wow, I'm surprised you didn't say the Clippers.
That was my team. I just didn't write it down.
Yeah, the Clippers are always just if they're healthy.
Yeah.
If they can have a healthy playoff run, I think they obviously stack up very well against any other team.
Yep.
So them 2 are in there. I also have the Mavs, but I think they're less of like a things need to go well. I think they need to be healthy. They're less of that, but more so just if Luka and Kyrie can mesh together, which it did seem like that.
I just don't know how I feel about a Grant Williams 3rd option.
That's fine. That's fine. He's not really the 3rd option. The 3rd option is Josh Green, bro.
You would hope, right?
Yeah. So, but I really like the additions that they made. Derek Lively looks like a really good center that will be contributing off rip because he will be the starter, and that's kind of what they've been lacking, I guess. They tried it with like Christian Wood. Obviously, Derek Powell or Dwight Powell is undersized for that kind of stuff. So getting someone like Derek Lively to slot in, and obviously he's going to have his rookie woes and issues and stuff like that.
Sure.
But just off rip, he looks really good. Even Omax, which is someone who I like wanted the Celtics to get.
We were talking about that a lot, yeah.
Yeah, like he's also like someone who could be very good. He maybe not so much as like game wise because I didn't watch him too much, but I feel like he reminds me a lot of what like Tari Eason is for the Rockets and what he could like provide off rip, where Tari Eason didn't get a lot of minutes, but every time he did, you could see the value that he instantly brought. Grant Williams, we all know him. He provides what he provides. And then you have like the Josh Greens of the world. Like I think he's gonna step up to be that third guy. And he already meshes very well with Kyrie.
He was great last
so I
year.
think so I think them playing in tandem will be perfect as like he's like an off guard / undersized small forward. You have Tim Hardaway who can light up any other day and stuff like that. And I just think Luka has already carried a worse team to the Western Conference Finals.
Mhm.
It wouldn't surprise me if he backpacks again, especially off of not hitting the playoffs at all, where he kind of comes back and like, all right, like let me get on my shit again.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my like bold prediction / dark horse, whatever, blah blah blah. Like Mavs, I'm pretty high on them, and then the Cavs, I also have as like a dark horse as well. I think they had a very bad matchup against the Knicks, and they kind of got just like they got bodied. They got bodied by grown men because they're fucking youngins. So I think there's a world where they're able to figure like that was like one of their first big playoff series outside of Mitchell. So I think having that experience, them coming back this year will be a lot more solidified, and they'll have more of a vision of what they lacked for that. And on paper, they're just a fucking goated team, man. Like they have so much talent that could be utilized, and they address the wing stuff too. Like
they signed Max Strus.
Yeah, they have some kind of variety in terms of having an offensive wing. So that'll be interesting to see how they play with that too. And I just think, like I said, another year of DG and Donovan figuring out ball handling duties and stuff like that. It'll just keep getting better. So those were my 4. And then I think the 5th was like low key. We'll see what happens. Was like the 76ers. Just because you never know like what is going to end up happening. And I think Maxi's going to take a big step regardless of what happens with the whole Harden thing. Yeah. But it does depend on what, they get out of the Harden situation.
Yep.
And yeah, I mean, the Heat are just the Heat. I don't really like put them anywhere. Like, obviously they're great, but I don't have too much stock in them this year.
Yeah.
Especially because of the other teams that are contending on the East. Yeah. I think there's just a clear
for me it's just one of those things where like I agree because like
you gotta put respect.
I felt the same thing last year because remember I think one of my bold predictions.
I honestly didn't though. I don't know, and even then we were talent for talent like better than them. We always said that, but I always said that the Celtics are just stupid.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what it is.
In that kind of way, I just don't think that the Celtics are looking as stupid as they have before.
No. It's not even just scared in the Celtics sense. It's just that like I have a hard time counting out any team that's coached by Spo. And then
I agree.
And you still have
they're going to be great.
The Bam Jimmy thing. But like just calling back to last year, I was like my bold prediction was I don't think they make the playoffs. And these motherfuckers made the play-in, and they went on a run. So it's just like at this point, it's PTSD. It's like, okay, what are they gonna do this year?
Yeah, like, I mean, for me, I'm just like I'm off it. I obviously say they just had such an L of a season, like an off season.
They did.
They just didn't get anything, and they lost good pieces. They can always do stuff to supplement that, as they always have been, with lacking in position or like even names of players because they just got players coming out of nowhere. But I just truly think that they lost a lot more than they get anything. Sure. Like the season before that, it was kind of just like nothing happened.
Yep.
But for this season, it felt like they even lost.
They lost Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, all that.
Yeah. So with that, I just don't see how it's gonna happen. Obviously, like I said, give respect to them, and they may have like a playoff run in them in some kind of capacity, but. Yeah, I just don't see it.
No, for sure.
Yeah, not for me. It's kind of the same shit as Rosé. I think just out of the ones we're definitely going to say Miami. Shit, the battles we went through and shit. So that I had Memphis, I had LA, the Clippers, and then Minnesota.
Yep.
Those are my 5.
For sure.
But yeah.
So then I mean, we pretty much have the same list. But it's funny because like I wasn't even thinking about the Sixers, and I think that just stems from me just no longer believing in Embiid being a number 1 option.
Yeah, for sure.
I really feel like he's better suited in a number 2 role. And and then especially with the Harden thing going on, like I believe in Tyrese Maxey. I think he's gonna be really good this year in a more like prominent featured role. But man, like there's just so much. I really think we put that franchise into turmoil. So
No, I agree, but
it's
I
just
also
hard.
didn't have a lot of faith in Doc. So like
I also did not have faith in Doc.
the fact that like he's gone and then there is a better coach. I don't know where I stand on how good Nick Nurse actually is.
I don't know how big the gap is though.
Yeah,
terms of
I mean,
being
I
better.
think there's a gap. I think there's definitely a gap, bro. Doc is. There's a reason why he's not coaching. Like,
No, for sure.
like
For sure.
there's 100% a gap, and I think that it just takes one run. So like, I'm not ever gonna say like the Sixers are on top of contention at
Mhm.
all, but
Yeah.
it does just take like one miracle run for it to like make sense.
For
So
sure.
I think the talent is there, and with Maxey continuing to rise up, the coach addition or like the coach change is
Mhm.
obviously like a big part. But I just think that I can't discount them completely.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying they're gonna
Because-
be just like fall off the face of the earth. But
No, yeah, I know. But when you say like you don't even think of them, like
Yeah.
I think of them because I just think that the talent on its own is just too good
Yeah.
for me to say that it's not going to happen. Because
For
like I
sure.
said, it just takes one run. Like we would like to think that this shit already clicked to be that number one option by now since he's like freaking 30.
he's 31,
but-
bro. Yeah.
Yeah, but you never, like I said, it just one run and it could completely shift the
Yeah.
perception of him and also just his own mindset, I guess, of the
Yeah.
game.
No, for sure. I just don't see how like the way they stack up. Because okay, before we get to the rankings, I think the top three is the same for all three of us, right?
Yeah.
Boston, Milwaukee, Philly.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Like because I have them in my top three standings. It's just I don't think of them in terms of contenders.
Actually,
That's
no, I have the Cavs. I have the Cavs 3.
Oh,
yeah.
you guys
Yeah.
had the Cavs.
Yeah, Philly's whatever because I don't know what the hell is gonna happen with them.
Oh shit, you right.
Philly, I have them maybe even fighting for a playing spot, bro, to be honest.
All right, that's crazy. they still got Embiid. Embiid is not cooking in the playoffs, but he's cooking in the regular season.
Let me adjust my notes.
I have the
real
Knicks
quick.
higher than Philadelphia.
I can see the Knicks being higher than the Sixers for sure. But I
Okay.
think it's Celtics, Bucks, Cavs, and then maybe even the Knicks, and then Philly. Like I think that's the 5.
Okay, you're right because I forgot all about Donovan Mitchell's Cavaliers.
Yeah.
When I was taking my notes. So let me adjust this real quick. No. Okay.
Right.
All right. Cool. So we all agree, right? We all agree, right? The top three. No. Okay.
That's top 3.
So anyway, okay, that's the top three. So we can go right in the standings.
Yeah,
We're gonna go East first. So we agreed on the top three. So,
Bro, I low key the standings were tough for me. I
Standings-
put them all on there, and I still haven't like put them in order technically.
Yeah, I got it.
But I am gonna try to figure it out right now.
Took me a whole minute, bro. Like,
I have the gist of what I
mine-
have.
I kind of have mine set, so I guess I go.
Yeah, I think I have it as well.
yeah, you can go first, Nathan.
I have the Celtics first, Bucks
Yep.
second, Cleveland third, New
Yep.
York fourth.
Yep.
I have Miami fifth.
Mm-hmm.
I have Philly sixth. I have Orlando seventh. I have Atlanta eighth, Brooklyn ninth, and Toronto 10th.
Mm.
I'm fairly the same. I think I have
It was kind of tough. Like, I mean, the Sixers, I kind of wanted to give them more respect than Miami, but I feel like after Miami's run last year and getting Tyler Hero back, that's depending injury dependent too. But I just think the Sixers they just gotta get rid of that Harden drama, and if that's the case, there will be higher regular season wise. But as of right now, I just had them at 6.
Yeah, for sure.
But I do like Orlando a lot, like you were saying. They're
Yeah.
probably one of my favorite East teams to watch. The East. Atlanta's always mediocre, but they're always going to find a way.
No, I agree. They are mediocre.
Yeah. And
I do
Brooklyn-
think I feel like this is the season for the Hawks to kind of figure some stuff out.
Mhm.
With a coach that actually like I feel like he has some not authority, but like he's down to like do shit.
Yeah.
Which is like play a player who's playing
Open-minded.
better.
Fuck yeah.
What's up?
He's
I do.
open minded.
Oh yeah, open minded for sure. And I just
Yep.
think like if he knows a player's playing good, he's gonna play that player over someone who like has hierarchy or like seniority or some shit like that because they have been in the starting lineup before. So I think the ideas of like Onyeka Okongwu or like Jalen Johnson and stuff finally getting those minutes that all Hawks fans want to see is like gonna come into fruition more this year. I don't think like, oh, he's gonna give them the starting positions or anything like that. But if they're having good games, he's definitely gonna keep them in, and those are impact players 100%. Sure. And I don't think that he would succumb to like Trae Young and however Trae Young wants to play. It could be that way, and maybe like management and all that kind of stuff plays a role in that as well, where they really like just think Trae Young is that guy for them and he should do all those things. But Quinn Snyder doesn't strike me as a player or a coach who has had his teams play that kind of way. And we even saw it like a bit in the playoffs where just they were a lot better than what was perceived. Like we obviously thought that, or some people thought that they could be swept. And I mean, I was like, hey, we definitely drop a game because we're the Celtics, but they end up getting 2 on our asses. And that was like not fluky, I guess. Like they definitely earned those wins. So I definitely could see that where they, kind of put it together again this year. But in terms of my own standings for the East, I also had Celtics, Bucks, Cavs, Knicks for the 4th, because I just think there's a lot of continuity and they kind of have like their identity. Everyone's bought in, and JB or Jalen Brunson, and I use initials for everyone. So Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, I think they are good pieces. Like they're relatively consistent. And then I had the Sixers 5th, and then honestly, I got the Magic 6th.
Really?
Hey, if that's one of my teams,
that's your bold.
Yeah, if that's one of my teams, then that's one of my teams. Fuck it. So they're gonna be 6th. And Heat Magic, or not Heat Magic. Heat Hawks 7th, 8th ish, and then same thing with like the Raptors Nuts. I think from that 7 to 10 is all like
it's whatever. Yeah,
they could all like mix match in my opinion. But I do think like the Heat end up being in the play-in again. They could be like one of those top seeds as well, like last time. But I just don't think that they.
I think Kyle just cut out.
He did.
I thought it was me first.
I thought it was me.
I was like, yo, what the fuck? I was like, yo, I was looking at your screen. I was like, is he still moving?
That's crazy. I don't know what the hell is happening. But I don't know where it cut off.
Yeah. You cut off where you think the Heat can still be one of the top play-in seeds?
Yeah, top play-in seeds. I just don't think that they're built for the regular season. They haven't been for like the last 5 years.
Agreed.
I wouldn't put them in that top like 5 or 6 ever because they are going to sit out a lot. They don't have a lot of like consistent star players or anything like that. So I think they will end up being in that top play-in compared to all the young like teams right now. Like the Hawks and even the Sixers are a bit younger outside of Embiid. They have more like legs and stuff compared to the Heat, in my opinion. Because Jimmy's like what, 34, 35? Actually, this man is not going to play a lot of games.
Oh, he's 35 now, actually.
Yeah. So yeah, that 7 to 10 definitely varies.
Yeah. Who was your 10? You said.
Technically the Raptors. I have the Nets 9.
I forgot all about the Nets, but I don't think it really matters.
Ben Simmons is back, baby.
Ben Simmons. All right, so my top 3 was the same. I had Pacers at 4 to keep consistency with my bold prediction. Probably gonna be wrong. And then 5 and 6.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm putting Pacers 10. No, because I didn't mention them at all.
I know. I was just kidding.
Pacers 10. Fuck the Raptors.
That's what I was there. I was like, yo, the Raptors. But
yeah, I mean they still got Pascal and shit, but I think they blow it up.
The Raptors, I think so too.
But I mean that's assumption. So you can continue.
Yeah, no, for sure. So Knicks Sixers interchangeable for me, but 5-6 is Knicks or Sixers. I had Orlando at the 7. I had Miami. I had Miami at the 8. I had the Hawks at the 9, and then I had the Bulls at the 10, just because like I had to throw something. But again, like honestly, bottom barrel Eastern Conference, it doesn't fucking matter. You roll the dice. One of those teams is gonna make
one of those guys. Yeah, it honestly just depends, in my opinion, who blows it up.
Yeah, because like
the Bulls
could
Raptors,
trade everybody.
Yeah, they could all do those things.
Yeah, and then even the Nets, like the Nets could potentially make some noise. Like but zero pressure on them. So bottom barrel, but I feel like the top 6, 7, maybe even 8 is probably the most important ranking, like the OG playoff standings. And I think we're pretty consistently in the same realm, minus the Pacers.
We have the same like 6,
Yeah, minus the Pacers for me. But yeah. So okay, West.
Dude, West is hard.
West
This is the one
West
where
is hard.
I deadass put like 11 teams, and I have no idea where to place any of them.
Like there's like a couple teams that have in the 8 to 10 seed that I'm like, they could easily be top 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's so interchangeable in the West.
Yeah.
But I can go first if you want. Because
Might as well.
It's a little crazy. I still got the Nuggets at 1.
Yep.
I got the Suns at 2.
Okay.
I have the Lakers at 3. I have the Grizzlies at 4.
Mhm.
I have the Clippers at 5. This is all assuming health, by the way. I have the Clippers at 5. I have the Kings at 6. I have the Wolves at 7. I have the Warriors at 8. I have the Thunder at 9. And I have the Pels at 10. And again, this was hard to put because it's like, I'm like, wait a minute. Dude, the Pels could easily be like a top 18. Or the Kings could have home court again. So like, it's really hard in the West, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was tough. Yeah. I mean, I have mine set too. It's a little different.
You can
One
go.
I had the Suns. 2 I had Denver. 3 I had Memphis. 4 I have Minnesota. 5 I have Kings. 6 I have OKC. 7 I have Golden State. 8 I have the Lakers. 9th I have the Clippers. And then 10th
This shit is hard, bro.
Yo,
Dallas and Pelicans.
we just got hit with a Woj bomb.
What?
Steven Adams is gonna go undergo season-ending surgery.
Damn.
Speaking of the Grizzlies, what the fuck, bro?
Wait, what injury did he get?
It just says will
I know
undergo
it was-
season-ending surgery. It doesn't say.
Oh, so he might have gotten re-injured or like injured again during this, because I'm pretty sure he was out for this
Yeah, he was out for the
second half
playoffs.
season, but I wasn't sure if he was already recovered, for off-season and stuff, or if he just got the surgery for that because it like re-injured itself or something.
But man,
That's crazy.
that's cool.
It's
That definitely plays a part because 3J definitely plays better with the actual center on the team.
it's a knee injury.
Yeah,
So-
I might just fuck him home.
Y'all can talk a little bit. I'm still figuring out
Listen,
the order.
man.
I'm not gonna lie.
Listen, man. I'm standing on business. I don't give a fuck. I'm keeping the Grizzlies where they are.
I'm thinking this is at 3. Marcus Smart gonna carry that shit.
I'm gonna keep him there, man. Marcus Smart season. Let's go. All right, Kyle. You're on the
Okay,
spot,
wait.
bro.
I think I got it.
Again, like,
I'm not sure if I'm missing someone. Okay. So I think I just did top 8 for now, but I do have other names.
Okay.
Or no, maybe a top 9. So number 1, I put Nuggets still.
Mhm.
2, I got Suns.
Yep.
3, I got the Mavs. 4, I got Grizzlies. 5, I got Lakers.
Mm.
6, I got Warriors. 7th, I got the Clippers. Thunder is 8th. Wolves are 9th. And then I feel like I'm missing. Oh, I'm missing the Kings. I'll figure out the Kings after.
Damn,
but
the Kings.
Pelicans are on the end of it, so they're definitely like 10 or like 11 or some shit. I think I
Yeah.
might have 11 teams on here.
Yeah, no.
But Pels are on the later end of
There's gonna be
all the seeding.
There's gonna be a team that just doesn't make the playoffs, and I'm gonna be like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Shit, I'm taking the Wolves. I'm putting the Kings there. I'm not high on the Wolves.
Yeah. Like, legitimately, dude, the West has 11 teams that are interchangeable. Well, minus
Exactly.
the top. I think the top 3 or 4 is kind of set in stone because, like, Nuggets, Suns, Lakers, and whoever you want to be your 4th team.
Yeah.
But the Nuggets, Suns, Lakers are guaranteed upper echelon teams. But, like, 4 through 11 or even 12, it could be anybody.
Yeah.
It could literally
Actually,
be
I'm
anybody.
gonna put Clippers in the play-in. So Kings are like 7th seed, I think, or I guess they're still in the play-in, but
Yeah.
higher seed, and then Clippers might be like 8th or 9th.
Yeah, this one's
Yeah, they're technically 9th, and then Pelicans are technically 10th for
Yeah.
me.
Pels have too many questions for me this year.
Yep. But I could definitely see them
They have the talent.
doing very well.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean
have
they were the
talent.
first seed before.
They were.
I was hella high on them last year.
They were first
And
seed
I mean,
until
I wasn't wrong about it either. It was just
they were
Zion
the
got
first,
injured.
They were first seed until Zion went to Dallas.
Yep.
If you know, you know. If you-
Same with Bi, bro.
If you
Bi
know, you
was
know.
was tweaking with that toe. Tweaking. Dog, he was out for like 3 months with the toe injury.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Motherfucker got
I wish it was crazy. Dumb shit like that.
that.
But yeah, I just think for a majority of this stuff, a lot of the Western Conference teams are older.
Agreed. Yeah.
So I don't see a lot of reps for these older teams, and that's also why I have like the Mavs higher up. Obviously, like Kyrie is a question mark.
Yeah.
And I mean Luka isn't like the super most durable player ever either.
Yeah.
But I think that they will get that chemistry, and like I said, I'm high on their talent overall, but I think they will just play a good amount compared to like the Lakers of the world or like even the Warriors and stuff. I think those guys will all hit a good threshold of games played for sure.
Yep.
But definitely not to the amount of like Jokic or Luka.
Yeah.
And even like the Mavs star players. They're all relatively young, or not the Grizzlies. If I said that, I don't know if I just misspoke.
What seed did you have the Grizzlies?
The Grizzlies were 4th for me.
Okay.
Yeah, the Lakers are 5th. But I do think the Grizzlies will be a higher seed overall because they just have like young legs and all that kind of stuff.
For sure.
Relatively.
Yeah.
So that my top 4 is the Nuggets, Sun, Mavs.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Grizzlies.
Our top 6s are like completely different.
Oh yeah,
Because,
for sure.
But that just alludes to like how stacked the Western Conference is. For being
Absolutely.
honest.
And like I really like the Kings, but I don't know if I just don't know if they stay the same.
If maybe like last year's run was kind of like one of those everything clicked type of deal.
Yeah, not even like a fluke or anything like that. But I just think that teams didn't know how to play against them.
Yeah.
Because it was the first time like seeing it.
Yep.
But now that they have an idea of like how the Kings play, and they didn't make anything crazy in terms of additions. They added the rookie that won like the EuroLeague MVP or something like that. And a lot of the weapons and game plans are still the same.
Yep.
So I think teams won't get caught off guard by it, but they're still a really good team. That's a bonus and De'Aaron Fox.
For sure.
But that is why I have them like lower on the rankings.
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy how the contrast is because for the West, we're talking about like, yo, this team could easily be a top 4 or 5 seed or literally not even make the play in. And then in the East, we're like, doesn't matter. They're like the top 5.
Yeah. We know the East is definitely top heavy.
It's very top heavy. And
while the West, it's tricky because like I said, a lot of the Western teams are just older.
Yeah.
Like the Warriors, you don't expect Curry and Clay and CP and Draymond to play like 60 plus games again.
Yeah.
Like you'll see a collection of that, but that definitely plays into the records compared to the Thunder, who you expect every single one of their young players to play like every single game, like barring injuries. So it's super tricky. The only ones, like I said, I've been saying, the only ones that fit in that mold of like they have a lot of star power and they're also young are the Nuggets, the Mavs, and the Grizzlies to me.
Yep. No, for sure. And if we're being honest here, the real finals is in the East. The real finals is in the East when the Celtics play the Bucks, which leads me to the predictions. Eastern Conference Finals. I got C's over Bucks in 7.
Okay.
I don't know if you.
I did new games. I just did like the teams. But
you did the teams. Okay.
I would have to say 7 too. That would be very, very difficult.
For who?
Series. Celtics.
Okay.
Imagine I'm like Bucks. Obviously.
I'm like delete. You got it, Tre.
But I mean, honestly, I'll just be different. I'm gonna take the Celtics in 6.
I can see that too. I like that.
I do think we match up better against the Bucks for sure.
Agreed.
Compared to who I think we're gonna play in the finals. Which I mean we can say, but we can do Western Conference Finals first.
Okay. I can go first.
Go first. Yeah.
Okay. I got Nuggets over Suns, also in 7.
I got Nuggets, Mavs. I got Nuggets in 6 though.
Oh, it was tough for me, bro. I didn't know if I should stick with my Minnesota pick, but I don't think they're gonna be great. I think they're a second round bounce, so I just stuck with the Nuggets. I mean, yeah, Suns Nuggets. I took the Suns, bro. Suns in 7.
I can see it.
I just think the Suns are too obvious of a pick.
Yeah.
Like everyone, and it just never works out. That kind of shit never works out.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need someone else. But the Nuggets make so much sense, obviously, because of Jokic being the best player in the world, continuity and all that kind of stuff. And they've made deep playoff runs like 3 years in a row. I guess outside of the Jamal Murray injury year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, there's got to be some kind of like curveball because
I will say this though.
it never works out that way where the top star talented players like make it.
I'll say this though. Celtics Suns would be the most fun finals
Oh no, absolutely.
in a long time.
if I could wish for a finals, it would be Celtics Suns.
Yeah.
Because we got the KD Tatum matchup, and then we got like a Booker JB a little bit, but it's just we guard so well against them, and I just expect the offensive workload from the Suns to be amazing.
Agendas will be pushed.
Agendas will definitely be pushed.
But
I need to end these Booker fucking Tatum debates.
I mean, I can't believe it's still a debate.
I mean, I low key get it, but it's not really a debate, in my opinion.
Okay, so finals, I got C's over Nuggets in 6.
C's over Suns.
I guess I got the C's. I really don't know, bro. Like C's is over Nuggets in 7. The Nuggets are they stack against us well.
Yeah, they do. With Jokic.
Yeah, and I'm just like, fuck. But hey, I'm still riding with the C's.
Yeah, Al Horford, bro.
The biggest question for me, like the Nuggets is tough. I just don't know if they're gonna be able to fill that void that fucking Bruce Brown and Jeff Green and shit left.
Hey man, they got some promising rookies and shit.
They do, but you know, I mean, it is what it is. But
and Christian Brown, year 2.
Year 2, yeah. They got Julian Stroughton. You know?
Yeah, that dude is cooking.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are.
So what are your games though? Celtics over Suns.
Yeah, Celtics.
He said 6.
6? Ooh.
Yeah.
You said 7, Kyle?
I said 7.
I mean, it is funny though because like through the course of history, I say history. The Celtics have played so many fucking game 7s in this era, dude. It's literally at a point where I expect at least 2 game 7s in every playoff.
Because we're so dumb.
I'm really hoping
so stupid.
I'm really hoping year 2 Joe has addressed that because he seems kind of like OCD, where he's like, if there's an issue, he's gonna hyper focus on fixing that issue.
Oh yeah, no, he definitely, and that's what I've been saying. Like he feels like he's implementing hella strats and stuff that he didn't like, and it actually looks like it's carrying over.
Agreed.
So I can definitely see the Celtics being not stupid or not as stupid.
Late game execution is going to be a big plus because, like, I mean, obviously it's hard to get mad at preseason, but I think we're going to be a lot less mad at this team this year.
Yeah, I agree.
So, all right, awards. You want to go like descending order, like worst awards to most important awards, or?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, do that.
Let's do Coach of the Year. I got Joe.
Well, it's got to be Joe.
I got Joe. I said they were best team in the league.
That's right.
Yeah, so.
Has to be.
Okay.
He didn't get it last year, so.
Yo, right? Agreed. Wait, who won last year? Oh, the Kings coach, right?
Yeah.
That was all right.
Yeah.
My 2 picks were Joe or the Thunder coach. If they actually make like
that makes sense.
Solidified playoff,
or even Orlando's coach, if they make top 6 seeds like they were.
True. Yeah. Could see that.
Sticks up to my shit.
Yeah.
Hey, he deserves Coach of the Year if he gets him that high.
For sure.
I'm not that high.
No, dead ass. GM of the Year. Okay, dude, it got to be Brad, right?
I would say Brad.
It's got to be Brad,
especially because we assume that they're gonna go as far as they are.
On some no bias shit, like dude, you added 2 All-Star caliber players in an off season where
I'm not as high on, or I know some people were saying Bucks, not as high on that.
I was thinking the Suns as my
because I was like, I like the Suns and even the Blazers higher than
but they're not gonna reward that.
They're not. Yeah. I just do like what the Blazers.
I loved what the
GM was doing. Yeah. But I would rank those 3 guys above the Bucks, even though the Bucks may get it depending. I don't even know when they like give that kind of award. If it's like end of regular season or like
I feel like it's
playoffs or something.
I feel like it's end of regular season. That's not how teams have done.
I feel like that'll be just more record dependent. So like if Celtics are the 1 seed, I could see Brad Stevens getting it because we clearly made a statement with that.
Agreed. Most improved player. This one's gonna be fun.
Bro, I have no idea.
I just threw a shot in the dark just because of the trade. And speaking of the Blazers,
Jordan Poole? Oh no.
Shaden Sharp.
That's
Sharp.
crazy. I don't. I say Anthony.
Anthony.
I can see that too. But
I just don't think because when I actually watch the Blazers games, I don't think Shaden Sharp gets enough like
playtime. Yeah.
anything. Not even playtime. Like I just don't think he's versatile enough yet because of his ball handling to warrant getting touches or getting a lot of touches. Right now it is Scoot and Anthony because obviously they can ball handle a lot.
Yep.
And they're like point guard, shooting guard combo ish.
Yep.
While like Shaden strikes me more as like shooting guard, small forward, who doesn't really have that handle yet, but has all of the like other stuff. Like he can shoot, he can make something off of like one or two dribbles,
For sure.
and like he can cut very well. But I just don't know if he's gonna get a lot of those touches yet because they don't trust him with the ball handling.
Hey man,
Could be wrong though. I could be wrong.
Maybe they traded Ant. You never know.
Oh, that's crazy.
Because there was talk about them trading Ant. Remember?
I don't think this year they trade him though. I think they try to get an idea of what they want with the 3.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Oh, you want to go?
You got it. I'm like pondering. I have a funny ass answer.
I have
but I have 2, but one is funny.
If you say who, I hope it's not who I'm thinking. Okay.
The hot pick, I know the hot pick is gonna be Tyrese Maxey, but
for sure.
I didn't even think about Maxey.
My guy, I'm gonna go with Cade Cunningham.
You think he wins it? I don't think he wins it.
That's true.
Like I think he improves, but like he was injured second year.
They do tend to give it. They do tend to give it to people.
No, recently they have though.
Yeah,
but like
I wasn't even looking
like the jaw most improved. I hated that shit.
Yeah, that was
because that was dumb. Like he's gonna improve, which is what I think of Cade. It's like he's gonna improve. Like he is in year 3. I'm not saying it's a bad pick though. I'm just saying like that's crazy if they gave it to him.
But shit, you know what I mean. But I think he has a lot. He has a lot more to prove, in my opinion. Obviously, getting injured last year.
Yeah,
I think this year he's obviously, like you said, he's gonna improve. But it's just a matter of how much is he gonna improve.
Right.
I think that's kind of how you gotta weigh it too. Is like, the most improved player is they do tend to give it to those second year players because they expect that leap. But at the same time, it's like, how much will he make an impact on that Detroit Pistons team?
Yeah,
like you could tell he's the most important piece on that team. Like, Pistons are horrible, bro. And when he comes back, they will make him they will make the team pretty. I'm not trying to say like a playoff team, but they would be not the worst.
It'd be a fun team to watch. And, and it'll be good for my fantasy team.
Yeah, I mean, I was higher on them. I'm still the only thing I question with Cade is still efficiency. I like really love his game, and I think he can be like a star to a superstar player. But he just needs to figure out that efficiency. He's never shown that like he could be an efficient player yet, but he has all the makings of everything else. Like, he's a good ass player, super high IQ, and he has a lot of stuff to work with now. Like Jalen Duren obviously is really good as a big man, but they have like multiple big men that they're testing out and stuff, which I'm not too much of a fan of. I love the Thompson twins. I think Asar is going to go crazy for them. And then like even Jaden know their chemistry together as like, because Jaden Ivey was playing as a solo point guard or like, shooting guard without Cade that whole year. So I think even that is going to make them have some kind of like, I don't think Cade's going to come out the gate and like killing it, which I think is what you kind of need. Because I think he's still going to try to figure out how he even wants to play again with like Jaden Ivey and stuff. But I mean, overall, they're super promising, and I really like what the Pistons are cooking.
Yeah. He's under different leadership too. You got Monty Williams now.
Yep. So it's gonna be interesting.
I feel like MVP is just a crapshoot every year.
Exactly, because like no one would have guessed Markkinen. Like that's it makes no sense.
He wasn't even on my radar. Yeah,
exactly. That's why I'm thinking of just random shit right now. Yeah. I think the more solidified pick, I guess, would be like a Franz or a Maxey, which were like I guess in the top 3 for my picks.
Yep.
But I'm like, Austin Reeves. he gonna win that shit off agenda, bro.
I swear to God, if Austin Reeves wins this, I will.
He's the number 3 option, and he just got a bag. I think he could cook, bro. If we're projecting that the Lakers are going to be a top 5 seed collectively,
Austin Reeves.
I mean, I got the Lakers as an 8 seed.
You killing me, man.
Hey! What did Austin Reeves fucking average last year?
I don't know, what 12 points a game, right? 10, 12.
Not even.
What do you
Probably even less than that. I don't know. Bro, he was not playing like that.
Austin Reeves, bro. Oh,
bro, I'm just talking on my ass, but that's what I'm saying.
I know, I get it. It's
you
just
never know.
It's just a crapshoot. He averaged 13, 3, and 3.
Bro, he could definitely do more than that.
He's not averaging 20 , bro.
He's not averaging 20. I feel like he could easily be like 17.
I feel like
in like 6.
I feel like in recent memory, most improved players have.
You got to take a jump. You got to
jump at least like 7 points a game.
Yeah.
No, that's crazy. 7 points.
Laurie went from like what 14 to 22, 23.
7 points is crazy though.
It is crazy.
I don't know, man.
That's crazy, bro.
I don't think that's gonna happen, bro.
I mean, I thought mine was crazy.
I mean, that's not my actual pick. I'm like my safe picks are Franz and
for sure
and Maxi.
My safe pick was Franz because like Franz is probably gonna be the number 2 in Orlando, and I do see them taking a jump.
Yeah.
But I went kind of like my Alperen Sengun route last year. That was my pick last year, but
Yeah, because I guess Mikhail could be in the discussion too, because he technically didn't average what he averaged.
That's true. He'd be the number 1 option.
Yeah, for like the whole year. I guess Ben Simmons could low-key be in that discussion as well.
No, I would pick 2 actually outside of K. Give me Jonathan Kuminga, bro.
Kuminga?
I just don't think he gets enough PT, but I do think he's gonna look good.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on how Kerr uses him.
Yeah.
Like if he gets 28 minutes a game, like I don't think that's enough to warrant MIP. You know what I'm saying? Which is how much he's gonna get. Like Jordan Poole was only getting like 28 to 30.
Yeah, they might.
Anyways,
they might run that agenda with Poole. To be honest.
I mean, I don't know if it'll be good enough to warrant.
Yeah, I mean, they gave it to Ja Morant, and they already hyping up the 41 points in preseason.
Yeah, I mean, Ja that's what I'm saying. Ja was like stupid. Outside of that, though, MIPs have been like relatively consistent. Like Desmond Bain should have won that one.
He should have won that one. Yeah, no, it's just,
but yeah,
it's just like I said, it's always a wild card.
Actually, yeah,
it's a popularity contest.
It is. It honestly is, and it might be Jordan Poole. But okay. So, what's the next award for Rookie of the Year? I think we know who Rookie of the Year is, right?
We got Vic, baby.
There's only 2 people. I think it's either Vic or Chet.
Yeah, I'm going Vic.
I'm gonna go Vic. They hyping that.
Vic is just too good, man.
I like Chet a lot, actually.
Chet is great too, and he's gonna be like Vic light, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Or like a little bit under Vic.
But Vic looks scary, bro.
Vic is just so efficient in limited time, bro.
Yeah.
Like Chet is gonna be there and he's gonna do a lot for the games, and like they're gonna be shooting for the playoffs, so he's gonna be playing a lot and meaningful minutes as well. But Vic just be doing shit in like quarters, bro. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Those quarter bursts are crazy out of him, and we've just been seeing that off preseason.
We got a 7-3 ball handler. That's insane.
Exactly.
6th man of the year. This one was hard too. I just threw a name out there.
I got quickly.
I went quickly as well.
Yeah.
IQ.
Yeah. Don't know who was a solid.
I honestly
6 man right now.
I literally couldn't think of anybody else.
I mean, maybe Pelicans player could get it. A Pelicans player, like whoever's technically the 6th man on the Pelicans.
I don't even know who the 6th man is.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know what their depth chart is going to look like, but I could see someone on the Pelicans potentially, just because they have like promising guys who like contribute. Payton Pritchard also. I don't even know if he'd be considered a 6th man.
Yeah, I mean that's true. It might be Al.
Because technically it'll be Al or White.
Well, if they end up going double big, it's whoever is sitting on the bench between Drew.
Yeah, which would be Derek White.
Yeah.
Or I guess Drew, but I mean either way, both of those guys I feel like
I would take one of those guys over. Yeah. Damn, it's hard. I think IQ is kind of like unanimous among the 3 of us though.
He's just a solid. Yeah, he's the only one I can like think of.
Yeah. DPOY.
I got Mobley. I'm pretty like confident about that one.
You got your big Cavs this year.
I am, but also I just think he was very high in the rankings already, and that was what like year 2 or 3 for him. No, it was year 2 for him. He was already like getting DPOY votes.
He's a monster.
So I think I don't think that falls off. So and they're gonna still place very high. So I think that would just be like, oh, he already almost got it, so let's give it to him. Basically, what like 3J or what happened
Last
to 3J,
year, yeah.
because 3J had a lot of impact, but
I'm gonna go the narrative game, and I'm gonna go Bam.
I agree.
I think this is the year his campaign works.
Yeah, it's just gonna be,
I don't know if they got enough, bro.
I don't know if they got enough either, but I'm gonna go Bam.
just give it a Bam, bro.
Because like, I mean, he's been campaigning for this DPOY since 2019.
Hey, he is great though.
He is great. So
as a defender, he's super important.
But it's always gonna go to a big though, other than obviously the year our boy Marcus won it. But yeah. I'll honorable mention Evan Mobley too. I like Evan Mobley. I think JJJ has kind of lost his narrative after the Olympics. So it'll probably be it's gonna be a new DPOY this year.
I mean, people know though, like that he's not great primary center.
Yeah,
like he's a power forward. But the thing with Mobley is he's good as both, in my opinion. He's very young, so it's like that's still projection. But I think he would really be unlocked if he was a center.
Yeah.
And I mean, Jared Allen isn't very. He's not the most healthy person or player so far. So I could see him getting a lot of center minutes as well.
For sure.
Not gonna lie, I do like Evan Mobley too. But if I were to pick up like another pick, I'd probably go Giannis.
I can see Giannis getting that narrative too.
Yeah.
Another DPOY. I can see that.
I think they just want something different. That's kind of like my own interpretation of the narrative stuff.
Yeah.
Where they're not just gonna give it to like repeat people.
Yeah.
I think honestly this is the year that there's a lot of like new winners of stuff.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just because we've kind of ridden out a lot of like the Giannis and Jokic's, and we gave Embiid his shit. Like so at that point it's kind of like, okay, now it's like the next guys. Or we go back to Jokic is going crazy, so we just give it to him. Like that is totally viable, you know?
That's a great segue, Kyle. Because that's what I thought was gonna happen. I mean, Jokic just goes crazy again and he wins MVP. However, I'm gonna honorable mention somebody. Jason Tatum.
JT? Yep.
If they have the best record in the league, there has to be a conversation there.
Yeah, I think it'll just end up being a like a KD-esque conversation where it'll just be like, oh, yeah, so much talent. There's no point in like giving it to one of those guys.
I can see that too.
And I don't think JT will end up being like I don't think his numbers will sustain itself compared to like last year. Mm-hmm. There is a world where it does, and it's just like way more efficient, less taxing on him and stuff like that. And definitely, I could see him winning that. But I just see where like he may even like coast a little bit. I don't know if he is gunning for an MVP, and because like I said, he's
not the type.
Yeah, he's totally able to put the same numbers. He would just have to put more effort in.
Yeah.
But I don't think he cares to put that extra effort in, and will just focus on keeping himself healthy and ready for like the playoffs.
Yeah, I can see where his PPG drops, but then his rebounds. I think his rebounds actually go up this year because losing Rob is huge. KP's not like the greatest rebounder.
I think his rebounds go up though too. KP.
Yeah. KP's probably goes up, but I don't think he's a double-figure rebound guy.
I think he might be close to it this year because he'd be averaging like 8-9.
I got him at 8 in the 8 range, but I actually have JT in the 10 range now. In the rebounds, just because the playoff production.
I mean, I'd be watching KP, and I'm like, hey, he'd be like going for boards now.
I hope he doesn't though. I hope he doesn't do it though, because dude, he lands so awkwardly all the time. I don't like it at all, bro. Maybe he can do it in the playoffs.
I trust him.
He can do it in the playoffs, but that dude be landing like a fucking a stick. Like it's
weird. He do be, but he also lands better than other like lanky ass guys.
Big lanky guys,
in my opinion. Yeah, like he looks like he knows he should try to land a certain way.
But my view of a Tatum MVP run isn't really PPG. It's more so like a rise in assists and rebounds and stocks.
No, for sure. No, like all those things will happen in my opinion. I just think the narrative will be that why wouldn't
the
it
talent
like,
he has
like why wouldn't it be so good anyways?
I can see that, but he's my MVP, so
yeah, of course he's the MVP.
But my official pick is Jokic.
Okay. What you got, Nathan? I'll go last.
I just had to take JT, bro. Fuck it.
I respect it. I respect it, baby. And on business.
I want the Celtics to run this whole award show. So
for real.
Hey, I would love for him to win it.
JT, I think he's like, not that type of player. He's not gonna go shoot for an MVP.
Yep.
I just think that just his time will come, which I think he's just gonna let it coast and come to him. But I think maybe not this year, but I'm rooting for him, bro.
Yeah, I know. He just always strikes me as someone who's going to be cruising. Like he's going to do what needs to be done. He doesn't.
Yeah.
He's not going to try to do any extra stuff. So that's why I don't see him winning the MVP because, yeah, I just think that narrative will knock him down. So he has to be even more impressive to break that narrative of like, oh, his team should be in the number one seed.
Yep.
They should have won 60 games or something like that. They're the most talented team.
Yep.
I mean, to keep consistent, I got Luka as my MVP.
Mm.
I think he's been the MVP front runner for like 4 years, or at least like
To start the season. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like everyone has predicted, oh, this is the year he's gonna win MVP.
Yep.
Like this is finally the year he's gonna win MVP. So, and I've never actually chosen him. I've always chosen like Jokic and Giannis and stuff like that.
I think we both picked Giannis last year.
Yeah. I might have. Okay, maybe.
We both picked Giannis. Wait, I don't remember who Nathan picked though.
I think I took Jokic.
Yeah, you probably took Jokic again. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, the whole Luka. I'm choosing Luka because like I said, I think they're gonna come out the gate pretty strong.
Mm-hmm.
And Luka is gonna do his thing, and by then, I think that's where the narratives come from, where it's just like, don't really care to give it to the Jokic's and Giannis's of the world again.
Yep.
And obviously Giannis got kind of beefed up with Dame on his team.
Yep.
And if they are the seed that I'm projecting them to be,
if they're fucking third seed, Luka's winning MVP. So.
Yeah, if they're the seed that I project them to be, I believe like Luka will be on a not historic run either, but he's gonna be very like the stats are gonna be comparable to a Jokic. So it's not gonna be like, oh, Jokic is blow water and having another historic season, and he's the number one seed, so we give it to him. It's gonna be just like Luka and Jokic are very good, but Jokic is the obviously like champion from last year, so it's not a surprise. While the Mavs didn't even make the playoffs last year.
For sure. Yeah. No, it's gonna be a fun season. I think it's always fun to make predictions because like really we made all these predictions last year and then everything just went like the opposite way. I don't think any of us hit on any of our
I don't even know what my picks were last year.
We all hit on one. We all had Brogdon as 6th man of the year.
Okay.
And he won. But everything else we were like completely wrong about. Nobody had the Nuggets winning the championship, bro. Nobody had the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, I don't think. So
I wonder. I feel like I was pretty good. I feel like I had some stuff.
I think we all had like some points, but like, because like I think me and Nathan both had Miami like as a top 3 seed, and then that just like shit the bed, bro. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, seeding, I was actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I was pretty good. The only one that I didn't, I don't know what I like predicted for awards, but that one's always super hard. Like you're never gonna really like get that shit.
Yeah. Anyway, looking forward to a great NBA season. Glad it's finally back, and we'll back to weekly episodes again. All right.
Down.
Until next time.
It starts in 2 days, man. I can't wait.
2 days. All right. Peace.
Peace.